Okay, you are welcome to this introductory tutorial on how to create graphic design using Adobe Photoshop. To get started, you need to get a laptop and you need to install the Adobe Photoshop on the laptop. But before we go into the Adobe Photoshop environment, I want to show you something you need to be familiar with as a designer. Introduction to graphic design. So I'm going to be looking at the following. What is graphics design? Importance of graphics design to various industry, career opportunity in graphic design, Adobe, and then we'll go to the Adobe Photoshop environment. So what is graphics design? Graphic design is a creative field that involves the use of visual elements to communicate messages, ideas, and information to users. So as a graphic designer, your goal is to make sure your design communicates. That is the end goal of every design. Make sure your design communicates. If you are given an information to design, the design must communicate that information. The design must communicate the idea. So the end goal of your design is that it communicates. What are the importance of graphic design to various industries? We have marketing and sales. We have communication and information dissemination, brand identity and recognition, education and training. One thing you should know is this: as a graphics designer, that as long as there are organizations, as long as there are businesses, as long as buying and selling keep existing, you are always relevant. For example, companies who are trying to push out a product to the public will want to create a design that will engage them. So as such, a graphic design is needed. So as long as buying and selling exists, as long as there is an exchange of value exists, your relevance can never be emphasized. So when it comes to communicating also, when it comes to disseminating information, graphic design does it better. When it comes to brand identity and recognition, for example, when you mention MTN, the color that comes to mind is yellow. When you mention Airtel, the color that comes to mind is red. When you mention GT Bank, the color that comes to mind is orange. So these are colors that are identified with these organizations. In education and training also, graphic design is relevant, is very, very important. So as a graphic designer, what are the career opportunities available for you to explore? Of course, the common name everyone is being called is graphic design, which is not professionally correct. So because we have a career opportunity that is called graphic designer, we have what we call creative designer, we have web designer, we have user experience designer, we have user interface designer, we have the art director, we have the motion graphics designer, we have the illustrator, we have the packaging designer, and we have the creative director. Now, the career opportunities in graphic design is not limited to what is being displayed. There are many more career opportunities you can explore as a graphic designer. And each of these career opportunities has its own role. So quickly, let's move to the Adobe Photoshop environment to explore the software. Now, when you install the Adobe Photoshop on your system for the first time, what you can do is just click the Start button on your system and search for the software. So once you type the first three letters, the software comes up. So once you click that, the Adobe Photoshop environment open up. Of course, this is not the first interface that will appear. The reason why this is showing is because I already opened this. So let's go back. So when you open the Adobe Photoshop environment, this is what you see. Now, the reason why you are seeing all this is because I have used my Adobe Photoshop recently. So that is why recent design is showing here. But if you are just using the Adobe Photoshop for the first time, nothing is going to appear here. Now, to start a new design, what you do is click New File. Once you click the New File, this interface shows up. So this interface is telling you different templates you can use to design depending on what you want to design. So I'm going to be using this. So if for example, if I want to use this, I'll click on it, then I'll click on Create. I'm going to use this, then click on Create. So that brings up a fresh page for me. Now on this fresh page, this white square box is what we call the artboard. So every of our design is being done on this artboard. So at the top of this environment, we have the file, we have the edit, as we usually have in many software like Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel. So when you click on them, there are other tabs under them. So you can, at your convenience, check for the other ribbons, edit, image, and so on. So to my left, I have the tools used in designing when it comes to Adobe Photoshop. Now, this tool, one thing, once you place your mouse, the icon on them, the name of the tool is being displayed and the use of that tool. So this is called the Move tool. So this is telling us that move a selection or a layer. So this Move tool is used to select a layer. For example, this layer can be a text, can be an image. So once you select the image, you can use this tool to move it around. So just to demonstrate some of the tools in design, I'm going to bring up an image. I'm going to bring up an image. Let me look for an image on my file. Let's pick an image. Let's pick an image. Okay, let's pick this. Let's pick this. So once I pick the image, I drag it to where I have the Adobe Photoshop icon. Then I bring it to the artboard. So after some time, it is being displayed. So I will click on this mark icon to remove the blue lines. Now, before I brought this image here, you know, when I opened this interface, I was having only this white artboard. So the white artboard is being shown here under what we call layer. So after which I brought this image, so the image is above the background. So if I bring another image again, it will appear above the first image. So let's demonstrate how to use some of these tools, since this is an introductory tutorial. So this is called a move tool. So this tool is used to move objects. So if I want to move this image, what I do is that I select the image under the layer, use the layer for the image. So once I click on it, then I click on the move tool. Then with that, I can move the image around. Okay, so to the next, we have elliptical marquee tool. So looking at this is the what this tool is used for. Make oval and circular selection. So if I want to select this image, if I want it to be in a circular shape, what I will do, now if you look at the name is called elliptical marquee tool. So that means if I click on it and drag, what I'm going to have is not going to be a perfect circle. But to make it a perfect circle, I will hold down the Shift key. So once I hold it down, a perfect circle is being formed. So I release my mouse and the Shift key. So that portion is being selected. So to remove the other portion that was not selected, what to do is that I will click on Add Layer Mask. So the portion that is being displayed is the portion that is being selected. So I'm going to press Ctrl Z to undo what I've done. Now there's a drop down beside this elliptical macro tool. So once you right click on it, it shows the second one. This one is the rectangular macro tool. Same thing it does, but this one is going to give us the rectangular shape. So if I want to select it in front of the passport, and I just to select the portion I want, then I release the mouse, click the add layer mask to display the portion I selected. So that's that. Ctrl Z again to undo what I have done. So let's go to the next one. We have the lasso tool. So if you right click, we have the lasso tool, we have the polygon lasso tool. So let's use the lasso tool. The lasso tool is used to make freehand selection. So if I quickly want to do a freehand selection of the area I want, I just select that portion, then click your layer mask. So that portion is being selected. Ctrl Z again to undo what I've done. So let me just go to another. Let's go to text. Suppose I want to type. What I will do is to click. Now, there's no space for me to type also. For me to type, I have to either shift this image or reduce the size. But if I want to reduce the size of this image, what I will do is to, after selecting the image, I press Ctrl T, select the image, then you can either move it here or here. So this reduces the size of the image. So I want to type on this on my artboard. So once I click this, so I can either type horizontally or vertically. So once I click on one of them, which is horizontal, a layer will be displayed once I click on the artboard. So a layer is being displayed here. So this is the layer for the text I want to type. So I'm going to type how. So design using pressing enter using Adobe Photoshop. So that is how to type. Once you are done typing, you click on this mark icon. So I have successfully typed my text. So this is just an introductory video on how to use Adobe Photoshop. Thank you. See you another time.